Greetings friends, David Marks here. In this tutorial, I'm going to cover the brand new Select People masking feature that Adobe added into Lightroom Classic version 12. In my opinion, Adobe has chosen an uninspiring name for these amazing new AI-generated masking tools. This is a shame because those of you who shoot portraits, particularly those of you who create a lot of headshots, are going to love this incredible new feature. So, if your version of Adobe Photoshop Lightroom Classic is up to date, and if you already understand the fundamentals of masking inside of Lightroom, then let's jump right in and let's get started. In the fall of 2022, Adobe took their AI-generated masking precision to a whole new level. On a headshot like this one, for example, I always want to make my subject's eyes the most detailed and the most colorful part of my image. To do that today, I'm going to click here to open up Classic's Masking Tools window. And then I'm going to give Classic version 12 a moment to identify my subject and the various parts of her face. As soon as this Person 1 button appears down here, I can click on it, and then another set of options will appear. If I were to accept the default settings, if I leave this check mark here beside the words entire person, then Classic will create a mask for me that separates her face from the background in this image. That would be okay, but it's her eyes, and only her eyes, that I really want to change with this mask. So to do that, I'm going to click down here where it says Iris and Pupil, and then I need to tap on this Create Mask button. Now, Lightroom will generate a mask for me that targets only the colored part of her eyes. This is amazing. It's amazing because without any effort on my part, I can see that Classic has generated the perfect mask for this project. So, to make her eyes pop, all that I have to do is turn off that Show Overlay option, and then I can dial in a couple of quick changes using the sliders down here in the Mask panel. Let's see how this compares to our original by tapping on this eyeball up here beside my mask a few times. This is without the change, and this is with it. Without, with. I'm pleased, but I'm going to make these changes even stronger by kicking up the amount slider. Here's before, after. Wow, that was easy. So let's go a little further with our portrait retouching. Next, I want to make the white part of her eyes, what Adobe calls the eye sclera, a little brighter too. To do that, I need to tap on the Create a New Mask button. And then I need to choose the Select People option. When her icon appears, I'll tap on it to pick Person 1, and then I'll choose the Eye Sclera option down here rather than entire person. Finally, I'll tap the Create Mask button, and now let me enable the Show Overlay feature again so you can see what a precise mask Classic has built for me this time. Amazing. Now that we have our mask, I'm going to dial in some changes to make the whites of her eyes brighter. And I think I'll take a little of the color out of that area too by lowering the saturation down to about -20. To see a before and after comparison for this mask, I'm going to tap on the eyeball beside Mask Layer 2. Before, after. Those eyes look great now. So let's add one more carefully targeted change into this image. This time, I'm going to use Lightroom's AI Select People masking tools to take some of the yellow color out of her teeth. I bet that dialing in settings like these will make a brighter, whiter smile. Okay, now let's see a complete before and after for this whole photo. To do that, I'm going to close the masking panel, and then I'm going to press the letter Y on my keyboard to split the screen. On the left is the image that we started with before I added any masks at all to this photograph. And on the right is our enhanced portrait where we have sharper, more colorful eyes and a brighter smile. I think this looks fantastic, and thanks to those AI masks, this portrait retouching was super easy. To be fair, I could have made changes like these in older versions of Lightroom Classic, but it would have taken me hours to paint carefully around her face using something like the brush tool. I could, of course, have also made all of these improvements and more by switching over to Adobe Photoshop. That too, though, would have taken way more time and would have added a lot more complexity into my image processing workflow. Like I always say, Lightroom Classic is no substitute for the power of Photoshop. If I needed to change the shape of her eyes, or if this photo needed significant skin cleanup, then switching over to Adobe Photoshop for my final portrait retouching would make total sense. But for quick and easy refinements on a photo like this one, Lightroom Classic's new AI-generated facial feature selection tools are hard to beat. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you learned something today, then please hit the subscribe button and leave us a like or a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next tutorial.